Ol Kalou. We're going to stay in Ol Kalou. Our reporter Alan Ochanda is also following up on the last day of campaigns. We now join him for an update. Very good afternoon to you, Alan.
Anka ni nani? Well, the Ol Kalou, the more than 70,000 voters from Ol Kalou will be heading to the mini poll on Thursday. And so today, Monday, marks the final day of the campaigns, at least according to the regulations and guidelines by the independent electoral body, IEBC. This is the final campaigning day. And so you can see the heightened campaigns here. These are the DCP lorry here, and so we've just come from one of the UDS stopovers here in Wakiongo. They are making their way into Ol Kalou town. We've also seen the Renaissance Party holding their door-to-door final campaigns to just ensure that when the residents here head to the ballot on Thursday, they remember their respective candidates. And so it's actually a door-to-door campaign. Literally, they're actually meeting people in groups of like 100, 300, of course, the other parties. But for the DCP and UDA party, they're actually making several stopovers of persons, of course, in the satellite towns here, like Wakiongo and Dondori. But also remember that the Jubilee candidate is also doing his final touches here to just ensure that they have a contact, that's of course a contact with the voters here, so that when they head to the ballot, they actually remember who was the final person they had contact with. Remember that in the run-up to these particular campaigns, into the final lap, we've seen a wave of violence where at least some people were actually accused of vandalizing opponents' placards here, and of course billboards here. Of course, last night we saw the DCP placards and billboards were actually defaced, and so it's also something that we are actually also working on because we've seen those defaced billboards here within the town and of course in the outskirts. But remember also the calling out by Renaissance candidates here, Timothy Kariuki, that the flooding of goodies into Ol Kalou, he says that's actually meant to sway the voters' will here in Ol Kalou. But of course, those actually accusations and counter accusations that is normally normal in such high stakes campaigns here. And so you can see we shall still be heading to, I understand that my colleague Ken Gashui is also within Ol Kalou, and we shall be linking up to just look at how, of course, just ensuring that we have a wall-to-wall cover, because as he covered the other side, I cover the other side, to just ensure that our viewers do not really miss out on anything as far as Ol Kalou is concerned. Also remember that UDA, the ruling party, has really, in as much as it stands accused of flooding goodies here and the heightened development projects here, enjoying that government support, they have actually left nothing to chance. They're ensuring that they're on ground, ensuring that their candidates is actually sold to every corner of Ol Kalou. Now, as we speak right now, they're actually at the KMTC grounds here in Ol Kalou to just ensure that on the final day, they are having that direct contact with the voters here in Ol Kalou. But as I indicated earlier, that we shall be just reaching out and ensuring that we distribute the coverage to all the candidates here to ensure that all the 9 candidates who are battling out to replace the late Juguna Kiaraho actually just we shed light to all of them equally. So from here, we shall be headed to KMTC grounds, where the UDA caravan is also pitching tent to just ensure that we will bring our viewers to speed with the happenings here in Ol Kalou.
That's Alan Ochanda. He's also in Ol Kalou following the proceedings, as today is the last